World. It is Sunday, and a rare Sunday where I am home. And if I am home and it is Sunday, then you know what time it is. At 10 a.m., it is time for the Sunday Smoothie Live. And I couldn't be more excited about this episode today because this is going to be entitled The Big Mistakes Episode. So let me ask you, do you like making mistakes? Just, answer that one for yourself. Hey, you can answer that in the feedback below because I always want to have interaction. But do you like making mistakes? And you know what the answer is supposed to be. You're supposed to say, oh, I love making mistakes. Mistakes, that's how I get better. I love making mistakes. I don't know. I don't think many people like making mistakes. And when they do make mistakes, they don't like to admit them. And then they make the greatest mistake. You know what the greatest mistake is? You keep making the same mistake over and over again. And today, I'm going to share with you. Why I do these episodes and what has given me the right to get up and talk to you right now. I make mistakes, guys. I make a lot of mistakes. But what I've learned, when you make mistakes, stop making them and then learn from them. And today we're going to do that. So I am going to be admitting some of the big mistakes I have been making in the smoothie game. My smoothie game, like yours, may have a lot of mistakes in it, and today we're going to fix them. And it's the big idea I had for the smoothie because of yesterday going to the mall. Now, I have to admit, I am not an avid shopper. I don't like to shop. You will have to drag me there. But yesterday, for the first time in perhaps 2 years, I went to a mall. I am not a person that frequents malls. As you can see, I'm wearing almost my Sunday best right here. I don't need a lot of clothes. I don't need a lot of stuff. So I don't need to go to the mall. But I went to the mall yesterday. And when I went to the mall, one thing stood out, and it really affected me. I saw a lot of people that were overweight. I saw a lot of people that were out of shape. And every one of those people, there was one common denominator. It was the kids, it was the adults. Everybody I saw when they were walking, everybody was walking with a receptacle in their hand, and it was filled with some type of liquid. So a receptacle in their hand filled with liquid. And you know what that liquid wasn't? It wasn't water. They weren't drinking water. I saw small kids, I saw adults, and everybody either had these coffees with whipped cream pouring out of the sides, or ice cream drinks, or sodas, or juice drinks. And you know what I realized? There's a big common denominator there, guys. Guys, as we have developed as human beings, we are not supposed to put thousands of calories a day in liquid form. And I think this is one of the biggies that's getting us. Now you could say, yeah, sitting and sedentary lifestyle's getting us. But I'll say this, you pound a couple thousand calories of liquid into your body and you eat a bunch of meals and you're gonna gain some weight. And man, yesterday did I see it. So we are gonna talk about this because I'm here to give you big mistake number one. Big mistake number one. You know what's been happening with my smoothies? And we figured it out today and we're getting detailed. I'm just making too much. I'm putting way too much calories into my smoothies. I'm putting all this stuff in. And as a result of that, I'm taking in too many liquid calories. And I was saying to myself, man, hey guys, because we will talk about this. This is the big mistake episode. But you could also call it the measurement episode. We didn't want to call it the measurement episode because we didn't think anybody would want to come hear about the measurements. They want to hear about the mistakes. But guys, you can't manage until you measure. Now see, how did I know I was going wrong? I get on the scale every day. Myself on the scale every day. And you know what? I was having my smoothies. I thought I was being really healthy. And all of a sudden, I'm kind of gaining weight. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought the smoothie's supposed to help me lose weight. I'm supposed to be eating so healthy. Look, I got my kale. And then, guys, I got myself a little scale. I got myself some measuring tools. So I want you to see this. This is really close. This is why we kept this out. So, guys, this is a serving of almonds. A serving of almonds is 28 almonds. You can get a look at that. And I'll tell you what, my hand holds more than 28 almonds, and I weigh way more servings of almonds than when I start measuring it out. When I was left to my own devices to put almonds into my smoothie, which we'll talk about why today, man, was I putting way more than a serving. And then I want to show you what a real scoop of protein looks like. Now, for all our bros out there, you can't go 1 scoop. You're going 2, you're going 3, and then it's not even a scoop, it's massive. Guys, this is a scoop. We need to go over serving sizes. We don't need to go over portions, because I'll tell you what, that's the biggie that's getting us along with then turning it into liquid. And look at this. This is a biggie too. This is 2 servings of peanut butter right here. 2 servings on a tablespoon. And just to go over it with everybody too, guys, this is a teaspoon. So you gotta read. You gotta read before what you're putting in. And I'm telling you, I want you to learn from my mistakes. What was I doing? Man, I'm taking a huge thing of peanut butter thinking I'm being healthy. Man, I'm taking a ton of blueberries and I'm throwing them in. I think it's healthy. So, I'm taking, guys, we figured it out today. It was 8 strawberries is a cup of strawberries. I was throwing in way more than that. I was just throwing in way too much food thinking I've got it. So today, just to show you, maybe check it out here. Look at that. Now this looks unbelievable. Look, cup of blueberries, we're going to talk about it. 1/4 cup of blackberries, cup of strawberries, cup of grapes, cup of, I like green apple. We got a cup of the kale that we grew outside. But guys, take a look at this. I wouldn't eat this for breakfast. I wouldn't eat this for breakfast. This is a ton of food. And then not only that, then we got our cup of almond milk. We got our protein. We got our almonds. Then I like to throw in some organic honey. Then the peanut butter. Holy crow. We got to do some math. So right now, we're going to play a little smoothie math because, 2 days ago, I did the big idea. Now, if you've joined me for the Sunday smoothie, then you need to check out the big idea. In particular, episode 14, which happened. People are saying it was the best one yet. You need to check it out. But we did some math on how to spend your time. Today, I want to do a little math. We did a little math today with our scales and our cups, and it was almost terrifying what I'm about to share with you, just like on the big idea. So if you've got some extra time today after this ends, get on the big idea. You need to check it out. But check this out. So a little smoothie math. Now, we got our cup of almond milk. That's 30 calories. We got our protein right here. Guys, it's a couple hundred calories. And you put in more scoops, you're even going more than that. I'm underestimating right here. We got our serving of peanut butter, which I probably got even a little more than that. 190 calories. We got my serving of almonds, 170 calories. We got a 1 medium apple, 80 calories. We got our cup of blueberries, 85 calories. We got our cup of strawberries, 50 calories. We got our cup of grapes, 62 calories. We got a 1/4 cup blackberries. We got another 30 calories. We got our teaspoon of honey. Boom, that's another 60 calories. A lot of sugar right there. Kale, that one was pretty good. That was the lowest with 30 calories. But you guys, do the math. We're almost at 1,100 calories. Now, that might not sound like a lot. You might be like, oh, well, I go to a fast food place or somewhere else, and they show 1,100 calories right now. Hey, I've also been doing a lot of measurements. Right now, I'm tracking my steps, my distance, my calories burned every day, even when I work out. My basal metabolic rate, as indicated by a few different devices, should be about 2,100 calories. I'm a 200-pound guy, for everybody listening. 2,100 calories. I just told you that 1,100 of it might just get fired down in my breakfast. That's half of what I'm supposed to eat for the entire day. And if you're not a 200-pound guy, hey, because I'm also seeing, hey, say you're a female, say you're 120 or 130 pounds, maybe you got you got to cut that down. And especially if you think that a smoothie is helping you to either get leaner or lose weight, then guys, you do have to pay attention to the calories going in. I get it, there are different things. Like, these are good calories, but guys, there's a lot of sugar and there's just a lot of calories here. There's a lot of food. And when you blend it up into a liquid mass, guys, it goes down so fast and you find yourself eating later. So, as my co-host behind the screen today, Tom Robertson, and he'll be throwing in anything that I missed because we had great discussions about this all week. If you are firing in tons of calories and you think, well, today I only had a coffee and I had a smoothie and then I had another coffee. That's all I had today. Guys, well, your 2 coffees from Starbucks and your smoothie might be 2,000 calories. You've put in enough. Actually, you probably put in too much and it wasn't even the best sources and then you're still starving. So big mistakes that we're going to talk about today. Numero uno, and as I'm about to show you, numero uno that we just talked about is taking in too many calories from liquid. Right? You got to start measuring that. Guys, have water, have green tea. I'm always loaded up. I got my green tea ready to rock. I drink my water. Like, guys, that's where I stay. But hey, I am enjoying the smoothie. But mistake number 2 that I just shared with you is when I'm making the smoothie, I'm just eyeballing it. So I'm throwing in some of this and some of that. When I stopped eyeballing it and I really took a look, holy cow, 3 people should be sharing this. But you know what happens? I make it and then I pour it out and I'm like, oh man, and I drink that whole glass really fast. And then I fill another glass and I drink that glass really fast. And then I still have some left because I don't want to waste it. And all of a sudden, I just pounded half the amount of food I'm supposed to eat in a day, and the day didn't even start yet. And then 2 hours later, I'm starving, which we will also talk about too. But let's start showing the ingredients as we go, and then we're gonna start showing some of these mistakes off too. So we got, for everybody that has their ingredients and getting going, and if you've got any comments on that, if you agree with this, if you've made mistakes too, throw them in there. I want to hear where you're coming in from around the world and what's going on. So we got our cup, and see guys, this is a cup. This is a cup. 1 cup. Get some measuring tools. You can't go wrong. Because if you can't measure anything, you're not managing it. Getting yourself a scale for your meats and different things too, you'll start to find out, man, you're probably taking in too much. Guys, serving of almonds. And I'm going to explain why I do almonds and some other things for some satiety, how would we say that, Tom?
Satiety.
Satiety in Scottish, or, you know, to satiate myself. Hey, we've got the protein. Remember our little trick? Put the protein in earlier because then it's not stuck to the sides. Now, from here, we got our 1/4 cup of blackberries, and you think you're being healthy, but holy cow, you're firing in a lot of food. I got my cup of kale that we grew outside. So hang on, let's take a check of this right now, too. I want you to show you guys an update. Growing our own stuff over here. Yeah, you just might have just saw that. That's where I do fold my own laundry right there on Sundays. Now, check it out right here. Look at this beauty. This is where we're growing the kale. Look at this, fresh basil. The basil, like, man, we've been putting it on different things. We've got our tomato plants going. We got our spinach going. There's so much stuff that you can do and have some fun with it, too. The kids are having fun with it. Everybody's having a cool time. I think that's really interesting stuff to make sure that you see, hey, remember we've talked about on other episodes, if you haven't checked it out, getting from good sources, organic, different things. So look, I want to show you this. I want to show you this, guys. I'll even put it back in here so you see. Guys, this isn't much blueberries there. That's a cup of blueberries. Man, I was like dumping, you know what I was doing? I was taking the whole thing and dumping it in there, thinking I'm doing better for myself, but maybe I'm doing too much. And again, look, guys, just to show you, just real quick. So like you put in like 6 or 7 strawberries, man, you're way over, you know, you're over a cup. Like it's not like, holy cow, you're taking in too much food. And then when we talk about a cup, let's take a look at this. If you say medium apple and we took a small apple, that's like way more than a cup. You're like at almost 2 cups when you start realizing how much food you're putting in. Then you go to grapes. I'll just get this stuff going. Then you go to grapes. You're going with all the other ingredients. I'm making a mess. Tom's laughing. And it's like, hey, that's, you know, you got to do a little of that. And then look, then because I want to be healthy, I put in my peanut butter. Don't worry, my fingers were washed before this episode. You know, so I put in my tablespoon of peanut butter. And then even if I'm going to go with the honey, I could get another tablespoon. I'll go with the organic honey because I like honey and it'll keep it sweeter for the kids. I'll even just go a teaspoon on this one. They were saying tablespoon, and sometimes when I do the honey, you get a little more sweetness. Because I will say this, guys, the kale, I like putting in the kale, but man, the kale can make it bitter. You may not recognize it as much because you're used to it. Look, I just pounded like 20 sugar calories right there. But you might not experience as much when you see that. But the children, man, when the kale is in there, they know it. And although it is good for them, but check this out. Look at the size of this beast. Now, see, you know what mistake I was making? We've already gone over the mistakes today. So if you're just joining us for the Sunday smoothie, today is the mistakes edition. Mistake number 1, you're probably taking in too many calories a day through liquids. It is a coffee craze right now, but not many people, like the guy behind the camera, just drink it straight black. I saw yesterday people actually prefer their coffee, if you can still call it coffee, with whipped cream, chocolate, caramel, dipped with a cake pop that they rub all over their face like that. You know, that was what I saw yesterday, and it was from children all the way up. So you got to beware that too many calories coming in from liquids, and then you're also eating, thinking you're eating 3 meals a day. Man, you're double dipping on the calories, and that's what can get you. Now, next thing we talked about is just making too much. See, I thought I'm doing a good job, but right here, guys, this is a smoothie. Maybe 2 people share this. Maybe 3 people share this smoothie. But what was happening is I'm looking at it and saying, whoa, man, I'm great. I look at all this great food, and then I'm eating the whole thing myself. And by the time I eat the whole thing, 2 hours later, I'm starving again, and we're going to talk about that by blending it too much too. Now, what we're going to do right now is get this thing going and make our little smoothie here, and then we're going to talk about some solutions that we can come up with too. Now, as I just talked about, I want to make a note right here. I like my smoothies a little rougher. I kind of call them roughies. So I have not been using the smoothie setting. I've been using just a setting of a 1 or a 2 here on the Vitamix, which when I'm blending my stuff up, it's still chunky so that I get to kind of chew it. I want to start that mastication process, get my body going, but also I was finding that it was helping me to not be starving 2 hours later, which is another mistake. But today, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the smoothie setting, which blends this thing at such a high pace that, man, it makes it so liquid. I want to warn you that it actually goes down way faster. So when it is completely blended and you can't tell the difference, yeah, the kids like it, but everybody drinks it twice as fast, and then all of a sudden you're looking around for food again. So my suggestion, one of the solutions would be, hey, don't blend it up as much. So you're actually starting the chewing process. Your body has to break the food down a little bit more. I think that one can help you out. So we're going to start this one up, but we're going to go to smoothie setting. You will see the power of this machine, which this thing just starts wailing. Right there, it's already well blended up. I didn't even need the stir this time. Our smoothie, man. This thing's going into high power setting right now as we talk about the Sunday smoothie. Today, mistakes edition, and this is a mistake right here, I think, is just hammering this thing. Look at that good color though. And you start to think, oh man, I can't wait to have my smoothie. But unfortunately, this is a 1,100 calorie monster. If I whaled it down, it might be too much. And as you can see, the smoothie setting, it just keeps going. I'm going to get a couple glasses first. And it'll give you your countdown. It's counting down now, so it should almost be complete. Then it's done. Now, this thing is blended. It is all, pure, I don't know how you want to say it, but it is so blended up that the children won't see the chunks in it. They're not going to get upset by it, which is always really good. It's just the challenge is now you've got this liquid form that goes down so fast. Look around the corner right there. You can see that as the smoothie's always finished, the minions start to realize that it's time for some smoothie. Do you want to try some smoothie, Sash? All right, well, they know when it's finished. That's when they come running after all the work has been done. But what I want you to see here is, this is really interesting, is holy cow. Like, remember that shake I was talking about? Like, I can't even get it all done in one bit. Maybe I put it into here too, just to show you. Like, let's do that. Holy mackerel. Like, I thought I was doing something good for myself, but now, if you go to a store, they're not giving you 3. Put in the big one? Well, I'll put it right there. But does everybody see right there, if we're getting a look at this up close, we've got two full pint glasses and another 2 cups. What do we got? 3 cups here? So no, full cup. Yeah, so I just made a liter of stuff right there. If you guys don't speak imperial and you speak metric from around the world. But does everybody see right there? You want some of this too? You want to try? Go get a straw. Go get a straw and you could try it. So we'll see what the kid, if it passes the kid test. Where are you going? Get a straw. And what we'll see here is I just want you to be aware, like, holy cow, this is a massive amount of fluid and liquid that gets put in, and you don't realize. You know why you don't realize? Because you don't pour it all out at once. I poured it out, then I drink it, and then I'm like, oh wait, there's still more left. Then I fill another one, I drink it as fast as I can too. Yeah? A straw up here? Which one, this green one? Oh.
The pink one.
A pink one? Yeah, you gotta, hey, always remember folks, gotta have pink straws if you want the kids to enjoy it. This will be the big litmus test, fresh from the bed. Wait, stay here. Let's see what you got. Have a taste. Okay, you want to go over there, off camera? Okay, here go on me. So, we'll get her advice. Tom can try this too. Let's take a taste, see what we got. Cheers. That's good. No, so guys, here's the other challenge. Woo. The other challenge is
I can taste those calories.
Yeah, the thing that's so good is this thing tastes so good that holy cow, you want to, man, I want to whale this down and I want to steal Tom's from him so he doesn't get as much as I do. But guys, that is not the way to go. It's a big mistake.
Peanut butter in there.
You can taste the peanut butter? It's good.
You're right, see? So that was pretty smart. So you actually taste the peanut butter and you weren't even here to see that we put peanut butter in it. Yeah, and you can smell it. So hey, that is a little message right there that the peanut butter is definitely overpowering too, which will help out with the kale. And an interesting thing though, it's for all people that know. My one daughter that has a nut allergy isn't here today, so don't worry. I'm doing the right thing here. But really delicious, and I'm absolutely starving now. A couple of things.
Two sisters are thinking peanut.
Yeah, you're the one that got up. Now with this, we've got too much calories. We got putting too much in our stuff, which is too much. Eating too shortly after. So see guys, if I whale this down, the purpose of a smoothie, I think we get confused as we think, hey, I'm putting in all these good ingredients and I'm doing something good for myself. But guys, this is, maybe the concept of meal replacement needs to be discussed, where you are replacing a meal here, not complementing a meal. So you are not now having this and then go cook up a bunch of eggs.
Starter.
Yeah, this isn't the starter, guys. Wow, more. So that it has passed the test, folks. Passed the Sasha test. Very delicious. As you can see, we've got our markers out for the big idea that just happened there too. But in addition to that too, and again, making it too liquidy. So let's go over some solutions. And you've already seen the solutions today, which I think are pretty cool there. But one of the solutions, I would say, is you got to either weigh or measure, right? You should be really doing it. I mean, you'll actually have some fun with it when you do it. You'll actually get to see, and it keeps you involved in the process a little more too, of what you're really doing versus eyeballing it and throwing things in. Because I'll tell you what, when you start eyeballing things, you throw in way too much, guaranteed. Because you've seen my photos. When you see my morning photos, I'm filling that thing. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's just for me. And you know what? I was taking in way too many calories. And I'm going to say that as a big mistake of mine. I was taking in too many, thinking I'm doing the right thing, but I wasn't doing the right thing. I was adding too much calories and thinking I can get away with eating as much as I want of something. And that is not always the answer. Now, we talked about measuring it. Another thing you saw today was we laid everything out. When you lay everything out, you'll start to be amazed like how much food there is. So you have to ask yourself, hey, when you lay it all out, holy cow, would I eat this if this was a regular meal? Would this be like, would I take in this much food if I was going to do that? And the answer would surely be no. You're not going to sit down and make yourself a breakfast like that. So why would you just jam it in a smoothie and then get it going? And then I think the other mistake, which we talked about today, I'm going to have some more of this because I'm enjoying it. The other mistake is, you see how I blended it so fine that it's easy to really just rip down, and then it just goes right through my stomach, and man, I'm starving again. And so to talk about that, a couple of things. Hey guys, oats. You can get yourself some oats, do like a half cup of oats. Hey, we already talked about today too, with your proteins, really be smart about how much you're putting in. I think guys, especially the guys out there, we're just throwing in, we think more is better. Like, hey, I'll put in 2 scoops, 3 scoops, 4 scoops, that's better. Putting in a lot of calories there, guys, and maybe your body doesn't need that much either, So today, we got our scoops in, we got our protein with the nuts, we got our protein with the actual protein, with the peanut butter. Then with this, we're getting, we got it.
I think a big thing with total calorie intake is by using the oats to replace the really high fat sources in the smoothie.
Absolutely.
So the oats can come in, and we can replace the peanut butter, we can replace the almonds, and we can cut out hundreds of calories.
For sure. And hey, for everybody that doesn't speak Scottish, almonds is almonds. So with that right there, we made a little solution we were coming up with. And we had, hey, if we went with the 30 grams of kale We went with the, what do we got there, Tom? What was this? We got the blueberries.
So let me read this for you.
Yeah, Tom will go with that.
We got a replacement smoothie here, essentially a lower calorie version of the one we made. We've got the almond milk as the base. We got 1 scoop of protein because, I guess Martin said, a big mistake guys make is just consuming way more protein than they actually need. We've got the oats in there, 40 grams of oats, which is a replacement for our peanut butters and our nuts,
Yeah,
which adds the thickness to the
little
shake.
thickness, and your body's going to take longer to digest that.
Then we
too.
got the kale, which we could double up on to make the volume of the smoothie much bigger. We've only got 1 cup. You could go 2-3 cups. And then rather than having 4, 5, 6 different fruits, just by having 1 fruit and making a standalone, like a blueberry smoothie, we can then reduce the total intake of sugar and fruit as well. And by doing this example, we've cut the calories from 1,100 down to 400.
Yeah, huge. So that's what I guess too, guys, is more doesn't always mean better. As you've seen, I got caught up in trying to create a cornucopia. We've got a little smoothie battle going on over there. And hey, as I was saying, if you add in too much stuff, if you add in way too much stuff because you think you're doing better, man, you're putting in a lot of calories and a lot of sugar too, and it doesn't always have to be that way. I'm culprit of that too by making the mistakes right there. Yeah, Sash? Uh-oh, we're having a breakdown. Hey, come on over here. Let me show you on the smoothie. Let me put you in the smoothie right there. Hey, you never know what's going to happen on live TV.
Live TV.
Yeah, live TV.
Never work with kids.
When dad's the only one that's home. But, hey, right there, guys, we have gone over all the stuff. And come here, let's show them this stuff. We got to show them your muscles. No? Okay.
Want some more smoothie?
Hey, wait, go get the hat. Bring the hats over so you can show everybody for Crazy Hat Days. Let's try a little diversion as we go. So, hey, we're going to open it up right now because we've covered everything we wanted to cover right there. So, right there, hey, guys, say where you're coming in from. Has anybody made these mistakes? Okay, questions, let's hear it.
When you measure the kale, is it pressed down in the measuring cup? Here's what I'll say to that. You can put as much kale. You can go big on the kale.
The kale isn't
the kale is the lowest calorie one that you can make you can fill this whole blender with kale.
and you're not putting in much calories and you're going to be okay. And that's what I think is funny. Hey, nobody seemed to ask about the peanut butter scoop or the double protein.
Go big on kale.
Yeah, so kale, guys, the greens, hey, throw it in there. I'm almost, I'm under the impression, like last night, I got a giant kale salad. It was 3 times the size because I went to the restaurant at the end of the night, and they gave me like 3 times the size, and I felt fine eating all that because, one, you're not whaling in a lot of calories, but you're doing something good. But to answer the question too, I actually did press it down a little, but I didn't kind of use a mortar and pestle to grind it all the way in there either. So that was something that hopefully that answers that. What else we got? Give me some questions. Who's made some mistakes?
Yeah, Thomas Castleberry was saying he was just waiting for the Sasha stamp of approval.
Which we got today, and then we had them battling over there for who gets to eat the most.
Mike Sub says Brian Wolf doesn't even measure the chicken he puts in the blender.
He doesn't measure the chicken.
One whole chicken is a serving.
Yeah, and hey guys, putting a 2.5 pound dumbbell is not considered iron replacement either inside of your blender.
Billy Ruder saying as he's measuring out his peanut butter, he's got a bad habit of eating that peanut butter as well.
That's a good one, Billy. And you know what? Not only did you saw me do it today, but here's the other part. The bad habit, man, you go for a scoop and then you don't think it looks like much and you're going for another scoop because you like it. And today, if nothing else, guys, this was to really show off, hey, a serving is not what you really think. I got educated today. 28 almonds? Man, I'm hitting 28 almonds almost in one handful, and I'm eating a lot more than that. So this one, if nothing else, we're going to be able to really find where to shave calories, but also make sure that we understand, hey, look, I just had that. There's breakfast, guys. Yeah. I just put 600 calories in right there. That's a third of my day. I can't now go eat 10 eggs and think I'm doing a good thing, and then I'm confused why I'm gaining weight. I have
another question regarding pre-packaging and freezing your portions.
Yeah.
It could be another
absolutely.
Good option.
Hey, great option. I love the idea that, hey, you know what you're talking about there? You know what you're talking about? Might be a new industry. Smoothie meal prep. So it's like smoothie prep, where you've actually already put your stuff out and you got your smoothies ready for the week, which I think is a great idea.
AJ Connor asked, would you replace almonds? Is that right? Almonds with coconut oil? Me personally, I would say no.
Or, you know, what's funny is you've seen on some of my episodes, I even throw that in too, which again, I'm a culprit of putting it all in there. But what I would say is I use a raw coconut pulp, But what I've found is it doesn't add the
I
greatest flavor.
think with almonds, coconut oil, all your fat sources, the biggest thing to be aware of is serving and total calorie content. If your goal is to lose fat, your total daily calorie intake, you need to be in a deficit. And fat chews up a lot of those daily calories.
You saw it
if you're
today.
trying to lose fat, it might be an idea to replace, to not put any fats into your smoothie because you're just drinking liquid calories.
Yeah, so think about it. The biggies today, the almonds, actually the protein and the peanut butter, those were the big calorie smashers right there. Those were the ones that had the most. And I will be honest, you don't have to throw it in. Having a daughter with a peanut allergy, today was a treat because she wasn't here. And so I was able to throw some peanut butter in because I really enjoy peanut butter. But a lot of times, just like and I have another one with lactose issue, so we don't use milk either. So that's where I'm going with the almond milk.
There was
or
a question
water.
regarding using a different type of milk rather than almond milk.
Yeah, so you could go, hey, you go with what you like. I mean, you got the almond milk, you got soy milk. Hey, also,
And then there's a question regarding like which type of nuts. Like I think a big thing is you can put whatever you enjoy into a smoothie. That's kind of the common thing. If one person likes one type of nut versus another, one type of milk versus another, but it's being conscious of the serving size and understanding the total amount of calories.
And that's what today was about is, hey, start taking measurements. So guys, I can't tell you what you like or what your favorite stuff is, and I'm not going to argue cashew versus almond today. But what I will say is I will argue taking your kid to the mall and giving him a 2,000 calorie macho maca latte covered in caramel and something else where I could not believe what I was seeing. And we need to be smarter than that. So just because you're holding this cup and you're walking around, you think you're cool. Guys, I saw a lot of disturbing images yesterday, and so much of it had to do with calories in liquid form that people were pounding down, and it was as if it doesn't count. See, when people are counting what they eat in a day, they're saying, well, I had this meal and I had that meal. They're missing the 2 or 3 of those giant, whatever you want to call those, shakes or whatever that they're having that you don't even notice. And guys, you're blowing a lot of money on that too, which, hey, that's part of my soapbox where I want to make sure everybody's listening too. Why we did this today is exactly what Tom just said. We're trying to just keep everybody in check that yes, a smoothie can be great, but like anything else, if you have a bottle of vitamins, vitamin can be good too, but if you take a whole bottle of it, that's not good. The same thing goes with your smoothie. You fill that thing up with everything, tons of calories, tons of stuff, and then you're eating throughout the day, you can gain weight. This is actually, you want to really gain weight? This is an easy way to do it, right? And that's what I wanted to make sure that we got across today as the biggest mistakes and how to cover them. So maybe to review really quick, and if anybody still has any more questions or interactions, we'll nail it. Because, man, I love doing these when people are interacting. But, hey, we talked about it today. Too much calories from liquid. Eating too much, or putting too much in your smoothies when you do that as well. Blending it up too much so you're not satiated and then all of a sudden you're hungry shortly after. These are, putting in way too much fat calories or way too much sugar calories. These are big mistakes that not only you can make, I have made, and why I'm trying to go over those right now with the Sunday smoothie, which is really important. And for solutions, we talked about it today. Measure your stuff. Weigh your stuff, lay it out first, prep it, and then put in some ingredients like oats or nuts. Don't blend it up as much. Keep it rough. Start the mastication process. And just be aware. Hey guys, 1 glass is enough. I don't know why we've been taught, especially in this country. Well, actually, I do know why. It was the post-Depression era parents of mine that their parents went through the Depression and more was better, and you clean your plate and you do your stuff. But it's time to be smarter than that. I just put in 600 calories. That's enough. And you got to ask yourself what you're feeding there. I'm not feeding a bad program. What I'm trying to feed is my body. 600 calories. If I only need 2,000 a day, that's enough to start, and I'm not eating again for a while. So give me some more questions. What do we got?
Thomas Castleberry asks, would you make a fat smoothie, I assume a high-fat smoothie, and just consume it or eat it multiple times per day?
I probably, I don't know.
My answer to this is no. If I'm going to eat a high-fat food, I want to enjoy it and eat it, not just liquid it.
Well, and not only that, now we're getting beyond like that we're eating anymore, guys. So like, here's the thing: the smoothie is also to be convenient, to be fast, and to eat it. Now, if you're partitioning out your smoothie throughout the day,
I would even say like me, personally, I don't even make smoothies because I prefer eating whole foods.
Yeah, and don't forget
enjoying...
that too. This is not just the sheer alternative. Hey, you got to still have food, but hey, avocados. Eat your eggs. There are certain things that still have the fats in there. Have some
Okay,
almonds.
saying not necessarily a high fat smoothie. Just if you make one this size, split it up into servings throughout the day. Well, all it's going to matter is your total calorie intake for the
watch,
day.
I'll answer this though too, Thomas. I have tried that because I have the extra. Like maybe what you're saying there is, hey, I made 2 cups.
Yeah.
What do I do? And you know what I did? I put the cups in the freezer, and you know what happens? It settles. It gets hard. It almost tries to form back into its form of whatever, and then it's actually pretty gross. And you know what I ended up doing? And this is just practical application. You know what I ended up doing? I ended up throwing it out, and I felt like I was really wasting a lot of food. So what I would say, guys, here's the thing: make the amount you need to make, and if you want another one later, make another one that of the right size. But if you're starting to make too much and you're laying it out, it's probably not going to go well. That would be at least the advice I have. And now I'm getting pretty experienced in this because I'm using it a lot. And that would be the answer that I would give right there too. But great questions. And hey, great questions from everybody. That is why we do the smoothie. And hey, I guess here's what hey, if you got any other questions, throw them in there at the bottom and I will answer them. And if you enjoyed this, hey, share it. Guys, this is great information. I realize that if you could share this with somebody, one of those parents that needs to lose weight, or one of the parents that's feeding their kids incorrectly, if you could share this and this could inspire them to measure their food or change something, you can make a difference. So hit that share button now. Make sure everybody watches it, because I know right now somebody's probably watching cats videos or somebody like doing flips on a bike into a lake and breaking their leg. That's probably not going to help people as much as the Sunday smoothie. So share it and let people do it. And if you really like this stuff too, guys, and you want to spend some time with me, if you think I've been making you better with the big idea and everything else, I am coming to Jacksonville, Florida in a month for a Coaching Greatness Day, which whether you're a coach or not, man, this is a day you will not forget. And I'm doing my certification as well as in Brooklyn, New York in September. So those are 2 upcoming events, sure to sell out. If you're listening and you want to get to one of these or see me live before it's too late, man, check it out at trainingforwarriors.com. But for Tom Robertson, for my studio audience, which has emerged from their beds, give me a round of applause. Let's see what we got.
Good morning, ladies.
A round of applause. They've made it. They'll be. They're anxiously eyeballing Tom's smoothie right there, very strongly. But hey, guys, this is Martin Rooney, and for Tom Robertson, I thought it was another great, power-packed episode of great information. If you thought so too, write me a note. I'll write you back. And I am signing off with another episode complete of the Sunday Smoothie.
Cheers!